Ever get that feeling like we're only seeing the tip of the iceberg with, well, pretty much everything?
Oh, all the time.
Today, we're going deep on something that really gets to that. Deleted Wikipedia pages.
Yeah, it's kind of like finding out your favorite bookstore has a whole secret back room, you know?
Right, like a hidden library. So,
Exactly.
I mean, I know Wikipedia edits things all the time, updates stuff, but we're talking about pages that are just gone. Poof, deleted.
Yeah, not just edited, completely wiped.
So, like, what would make them actually delete a whole page?
Well, sometimes, honestly, it's pretty straightforward. Like the page is just, not really up to snuff, doesn't have good sources,
Okay,
doesn't really meet their like criteria for being a, legit topic.
makes sense. Got to keep things credible, right?
Right. But then there are the other ones.
The ones that make you go,
Yeah, the ones where it's not so clear why they disappeared, and those are the ones that, those are the rabbit holes.
Let's jump into a rabbit hole then.
Okay, yeah.
So, Project Montauk?
Oh, yeah.
You sent some info on this. I got to say, time travel mind control. Sounds pretty out there.
It's definitely one of those, like, legendary conspiracy theories.
So if Wikipedia is all about, like you said, good sources, solid info, why delete something like that? Seems like it would have a ton of sources, even if they're all, kind of fringy.
Well, that's the thing, right? There's a lot of talk, but not a lot of actual proof.
Yeah.
So Wikipedia's got to walk that line between, being comprehensive and also not just spreading misinformation.
So it's more like they're saying we just don't have enough to go on here to really say this is a real thing.
Yeah, that's one way to look at it.
But doesn't that kind of feed into the whole conspiracy thing? Like, oh, they're just hiding the truth.
Right, it can definitely feel that way. Like, who decides what's real enough to be on Wikipedia?
That's a good point. There's probably a lot of gray area there.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so another one that I was really kind of surprised to see on the list of deleted pages, Operation Northwoods?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this one wasn't just a theory, right?
Nope.
This was an actual plan the U.S. government really considered staging false flag attacks.
Yeah, real and pretty disturbing.
Okay, so why delete a page about something that's like a matter of public record?
Well, I mean, you can see how that kind of information could be seen as, sensitive, damaging maybe to, reputations and whatnot.
Yeah, but doesn't deleting it just make it seem even more suspicious? Like, oh, they're trying to cover it up.
It's a catch-22, isn't it? Trying to, like, control information, sometimes it just makes people more curious.
It's like, what's that saying? Something about the Streisand effect?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so one more before we wrap up the first part of our deep dive.
Okay.
This one's back into the unexplained territory. The Black Knight satellite,
Oh, yeah, this one's a classic.
alien spaceship, right?
That's the idea, yeah. Supposedly, this, mysterious object just orbiting Earth.
Not just orbiting for like, what, thousands of years?
That's what some people say, yeah.
So, I mean, this is another one where, is it just because there's not enough evidence? Or is there something more going on?
Well, like a lot of these, it really comes down to like what counts as evidence, A few blurry photos, some, stories. Next thing you know, it's an alien invasion.
I guess that's part of why I find these deleted pages so interesting. It's not just about what's gone. It's about, like, how we explain it, Our brains just want to fill in the blanks.
Right. We're always trying to make sense of things, even when there's not enough information.
Exactly. So, I mean, how do we keep ourselves from, like, going down those rabbit holes, ending up in crazy town?
Well, I think the key is, critical thinking.
Yeah.
Just because something's been deleted from Wikipedia doesn't mean there's some big conspiracy, right?
Right. It could be, like you said, just not good enough sources, or maybe the info is just plain wrong.
Right. But even then, it's worth thinking about, like, who decided to delete it and why,
So, like, who are these Wikipedia editors anyway? Are they, like, super secret gatekeepers of knowledge?
Nah, they're just, regular people, mostly. Some are, like, experts in their field. Some are just, passionate about a topic.
Okay.
They have different levels of, like, authority. You've got your regular editors, then you've got administrators who can, delete stuff, block users.
So it's a bit of a hierarchy?
Kind of, yeah. And that can lead to, like, some interesting power dynamics.
How so?
Well, imagine, like, a page about a company that's, kind of controversial. You might have one group of editors trying to keep things neutral,
Mm-hmm.
then another group pushing, their agenda, either for or against the company. And it can get pretty heated.
So, like, edit wars and stuff?
Oh, yeah. Accusations of bias, sometimes even, like, personal attacks. It's a reminder that Wikipedia, even though it's supposed to be, like, objective, it's still made by people, you know?
People with opinions.
Exactly.
So we've talked about why pages might get deleted, who's doing the deleting, but what about the people trying to keep this stuff up? The ones who, like, try to put the pages back?
That's where it gets even more interesting. There's a whole group of like dedicated editors who are all about preserving information, even if it's, controversial.
You mentioned that some of them have even gotten, like, threats and stuff for doing that. That's kind of scary.
Yeah. Shows you that, information can be a powerful thing, even in the digital world.
So it's like this tug of war, one side trying to hide stuff, the other trying to bring it to light.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. And it can go on for years, pages getting deleted, restored, deleted again.
You said there are tools for, like, tracking these deleted pages?
Yeah, there are. One of the best known is the Wayback Machine.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of that. It's like an archive of the internet.
Right. It basically takes snapshots of websites at different times.
So you can see how things have changed or even disappeared.
Exactly. So if you're curious about a deleted Wikipedia page, you can often find older versions of it on the Wayback Machine.
That's so cool. Like a time machine for the internet.
Right. It's super useful for like researchers, journalists, anyone who's trying to, understand how information changes online.
Are there other tools like that?
Yeah, there are some like specialized search engines that focus on deleted content.
Wow.
They can be a little more, technical to use,
Yeah.
but they can be really helpful if you're like serious about finding hidden stuff.
So we've got our detective hats on, ready to dig.
Yeah.
But, I mean, with all this talk about deleted pages, it's easy to get lost in the weeds. Why does this matter? Why should we care about what's being removed from Wikipedia?
I think that's the most important question.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it's not just about Wikipedia, right?
It's bigger than that.
It's about access to information, freedom of speech, who gets to decide what we know and don't know.
So this is about more than just, like, satisfying our curiosity.
Oh, absolutely. It's about our ability to, form our own opinions, make informed decisions. Participate in a, democratic society. And that all starts with having access to, good information.
So what does this mean for us, like, the average person browsing Wikipedia? Should we be, like, suspicious of everything we read?
I don't think it's about being suspicious, but it's definitely about being, aware.
Aware that things might not be what they seem.
Yeah. Wikipedia is a great resource, but like anything, it has its limitations.
So how do we do that? How do we make sure we're not getting fooled?
It's all about being, proactive. Don't just take things at face value. Ask questions. Dig a little deeper.
Right.
Look for other sources. And remember, even Wikipedia, as good as it is, it's not perfect.
You mentioned before that sometimes pages get deleted, and it's not like, government secrets or anything like that. It's just weird.
Yeah.
Can you talk about that a little more?
Yeah, there are these cases where, like, a page disappears and you just can't figure out why.
Like what?
Like, imagine you find a page about some local festival, right? Some tiny village in, I don't know, Romania or something.
Okay.
And it's a really detailed page, got pictures, sources, the whole 9 yards. You're like, huh, that's interesting. Then you go back the next day and it's gone.
What?
Just gone. No explanation. And it's not like, top secret stuff. It's just
It's weird.
a local festival. Makes you wonder, what was so controversial about that?
Maybe the festival was a cover for something else.
Could be. Or maybe it was all just made up.
I hope so.
Yeah, and that's what's so cool about these deleted pages.
It's like they open these little windows into like a secret world.
Exactly. This whole world of information that's constantly being, created and erased and rewritten makes you wonder, what else is out there?
So how do we find it? Where do we even start looking for these deleted pages?
Well, we talked about the Wayback Machine.
Right,
That's a
okay.
good place to start. But there are other tools too, search engines that specifically look for deleted content, online forums where people share their findings.
Okay.
You can even find like archives of Wikipedia's own deletion discussions.
Wow.
It takes some work, but it can be really rewarding.
So it's like being a digital detective.
Exactly. And once you start looking, it's hard to stop.
It's kind of addictive, right? Like, what else is out there?
That's what keeps me going. The internet's this huge, constantly changing thing.
Yeah.
We're still just figuring it out.
Well, listeners, we've given you a lot to think about today. Turns out Wikipedia is a lot more complex than it looks on the surface.
Yeah, it's not just an encyclopedia.
It's like this whole battleground of information where things are constantly being, fought over and hidden and changed.
It's fascinating.
So the next time you're on Wikipedia, remember what you see is just part of the story. There's a whole lot more going on behind the scenes.
And who knows, maybe you'll be the one to uncover it.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive. We'll see you next time.